Hey, sunny day, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to do another album review. I'm going to review the latest Moor Jewelry album, True Opera. So, Moor Jewelry is a duo formed between Moor Mother and Mental Jewelry. And Moor Mother is a poet, activist, and also a bit of a musical artist, and Mental Jewelry is a producer. And together they make True Opera, which is a noise rock, post punk ish, no wave album. And it takes a lot of time for me to get into this album because at first, when I saw that this album is labeled under no wave and post punk, I was actually super duper friggin' excited. But actually, it's not melodic. This album is not melodic at all. It is very rough, very raw, very primal, extremely chaotic, and it takes time. No, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I managed to enjoy it after many, many, many listens. So here I am reviewing this album. So yeah, this album is only 26 minutes long. Not long at all. And it has not that many tracks as well. So we have the album opener, the title track, which lasts a really strong impression on me. I really enjoy the tight driving drums, the distorted bass, but what really steals the show for me is Moor Mother's very cold-blooded delivery, the vocal delays as well, and the way the song vocally just breaks down towards the end. It just corrupts on itself. And again, I really like the deadpan delivery. It just makes this track so much more charismatic. There's a gun in your mouth, True Opera. Anyways, the next track, No Hope, sounds pretty similar in my opinion, where we get these repeated refrains, we don't move, we don't move. And the intro is really disjointed, but when it hits its verses, the drums are super tight. However, I wish that there is more of a dynamic in the song. Same goes for the next track, Look Alive, which again has the repeated refrains, look alive, look alive, look alive, look alive. And once again, it doesn't have much dynamic or progression, and I kind of wish that it does, but still, it sounds really raw and chaotic, and I do appreciate that aspect of the song. Also, I like how the song introed with the very shivery vibrato vocals to something tighter and more coherent. The next track, Judgement, is a pretty good song as well. I love the clucking guitars with the clanging tones, the brittle distortion, and how every bit of instrumental, they don't feel planned or arranged at all. It sounds like they're free jazzing. And lyrically, this track sort of questions the government. The track Eugenics is an incredibly burning, fiery, scorched track with these very aggressive climbing guitars with no constant drum beat at all, and I really love that enraged climbing guitar tone. And this track is essentially about sterilization and how we are just being washed over by our cultures. Anyways, the next track, Working, is it's working, it's working, it's working, all the fucking and lying and cheating and stealing, it's working, it's working. It's crazy. This track is crazy. The spoken word is manic, the drums are insane, the guitars are distorted, and the way the track progressively gets more and more loose and broken down is very nice. And yeah, also one of the better tracks and more interesting sounding tracks here. The track Westmoreland County is easily the most aggressive track on the entire album. The drums are constantly crashing and bashing. The guitars have a huge hardcore punk tone to them. And we also get these overdubbed vocals, which are just very raw and loud. The next track, Le Grand Macabre, is also very aggressive, but actually more coherent. The bass line is actually very clear, kind of melodic here, and we also get these shouty refrains that get more and more loose as the track progresses. And then we have the track Boris, Godunov, which is a rare track because this track is the only track on the album where it's clear and straightforward. It basically has a simple, good old, punk progression. Again, we get a distorted hook, layered vocals that are really, really well put together, and this track reminds me a lot of Joy Division, except, of course, louder, rawer, more chaotic. And the album ends off with Shadow, which also sounds pretty similar to the rest of the album, except it sounds so much more casual, so it's just okay. It's not really that impressive of an ending. The hook is slightly melodic, but only slightly, because the most part of the song is also, the rough, the raw, the very scratchy and rigid. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed this album. I don't think this album is anybody's cup of tea. I think it takes a lot of time and effort to enjoy the album, but the good bits on the album is very admirable. It's impressive, and overall, I really like the vibe of the album. I mean, how raw and rough and aggressive and scratchy it is. It's just, yeah. Not much else to say. My favorite track here is the title track, I guess, and my least favorite is probably Shadow. So I am giving Moor Jewelry's True Opera a light 8 out of 10. Yeah. So if you listen to Moor Jewelry's True Opera from 1 to 10, I'm going to just rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. I will be reviewing Ace, MoMA, Greg Fox, Chloe and Hale, Phoebe Bridgers very soon.